So it's been about 7 months with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I've got some thoughts. If you're thinking about sort of upgrading maybe from the 13 or the 14, you might want to watch this video. It's been a mixed bag of experience, I've got to say that. I've not been terribly impressed, especially coming from the 14 Pro Max. I don't think there's a massive difference. There isn't a real massive gain in performance or quality over the last generation, and I just wouldn't normally recommend upgrading every single year. I basically upgrade every year because of this YouTube channel. If I didn't have this YouTube channel, I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't normally recommend people upgrading from last year's model to the newest model because there isn't generally that much of an improvement or a gain in technology. You should be waiting like 2-3 years minimum before you upgrade realistically, and that's probably what I would do if I didn't do this. There's just been a few real frustrations with this phone. Basically, the biggest one is the signal and the Wi-Fi. I've noticed a real big performance drop in the signal in particular. Granted, I make a lot of phone calls to my mate Danny Black. Shout out Danny Black in Australia. We talk over Messenger, but it's continuously. I mean, I wish I could record a conversation for you, especially today in particular. The date is the 23rd, Danny, of April, and we spoke today probably for about an hour, and it just constantly drops out. It reconnects, and it's not just Messenger, it's normal phone calls, and its Wi-Fi fails to load. And it's not my carrier. My carrier has been the same for the last 15 years, and I've never had these issues. So I definitely think it is the iPhone. I don't think it's a faulty model. I think it is just the fact that this has a weaker antenna than the previous model. I'm of the opinion that the iPhone 13 Pro Max was sort of peak iPhone. I love that phone, the Sierra Blue. I had a really good experience with that phone, and that made me want to upgrade again. But I just wish I hadn't. I wish I'd kept to the iPhone 13 Pro Max, to be honest with you. It was amazing. The signal was great. The camera was amazing. Screen was good. Performance was good. I had a really good experience with that phone. But so far, over the last 7 months, I just really haven't had a good experience. And that is my biggest bugbear, the signal. The Wi-Fi seems to be a little bit hit and miss, but I know people that are getting gigabyte internet, and I generally struggle to get over 200 gigabits per second, and I don't know, it's just something that I've noticed, and I have had this, I've used it every single day for 7 months, and that has been my experience. So that's what this video is about, really, just my experience of using this phone, this camera, this device. It has not been that good, in all honesty. The next thing that really has annoyed me is the keyboard. It doesn't matter how much you use it, or like my fingers aren't that big. I just really have problems with it, just tapping the wrong letter, the wrong number constantly. I mean, daily. It doesn't matter how many times you press it. And sometimes I notice straight away that I press it, and I literally press on the point where the T is or the A is, whatever, and it just doesn't press where I'm pressing. It's just very inaccurate is the word I can say, and very frustrating to use, especially when you're using these things 6-7 hours a day, especially when you're replying to emails like I do quite a lot. It's very frustrating, and that's the biggest thing I've noticed. And it's not an iPhone thing. This hasn't been an issue with the previous models. It seems to be just an iPhone 15 thing that I've picked up on these things over the last few months. It really is just very frustrating. Anyway, Siri as well. Siri has been a bit of a bugbear since it was conceived, I suppose. It just doesn't do as you ask it to do. It very rarely picks up my voice when I say, "Hey Siri." It takes it 1 or 2 times to sort of listen to you, and it's pretty much useless. I've found pretty much the only thing I do with Siri is set alarms. So that I think they should scrap it, in all honesty, and maybe take on Google's Bard system for AI. I think that will probably happen. They'll buy out another company and make it better because they just can't make Siri any better. Another thing I'm not a massive fan of is the haptic feedback. There's only the option to turn it on or off. There's no ability to change the strength of it, and I just find it very weak. I prefer the haptic feedback of Android devices. I've got a Google Pixel, and the haptic feedback on that is very, very nice. It's just a lot stronger, and you know that you've tapped the button. With the iPhone, it's pretty weak, and you've only got the option to turn it on and off, and that I wish you had the option to increase the strength of the haptic feedback. So that's another con for me. And then I've had a weird issue with the focus on the camera. It's sort of, when you focus on something, it's sort of got a bit of focus breathing if you're familiar with cameras, but then you can't unfocus from that. You can't tap off the focus. So if you sort of draw a box around something to track it, you can't untrack it. You have to stop recording and restart recording. That's another feature that is just a bit frustrating with that. And the macro is, once you start recording, you can't turn the macro on or off as well. I'd like to be able to have the option to turn it off whilst I'm recording, rather than having to turn it off before I start recording, if that makes sense. So there's a few things that can improve the software wise. Yeah, those are my frustrations. There are, of course, pros, because this is, a flagship device. It's one of, say, 4 of the best phones on the market you can buy, theoretically. The camera, apart from that sort of focusing weird issue, and the macro mode is pretty phenomenal. The cinematic mode is crazy. The 2.8, although I wish it was 4K. The action mode, the stabilization is buttery smooth. You don't really need a gimbal, although I do like phone gimbals for doing different things and creative options. If you're just going handheld and you're vlogging with this, the action mode in 2.7K is brilliant. If you want more resolution, then yeah, you need a gimbal, but hopefully they'll do that in the next model. You'll be able to get 4K action mode. So yeah, the video is incredible. You get that natural bokeh out of focus look without having to put on cinematic mode. The photos always produce good photos. You've got that ProRes video if you want to use up all your memory on your device. So yeah, it is an amazing camera. It really is. I love the wide angle. I love the zoom as well. Now we've got on this 15 Pro Max, it really does make a difference. So it's, yeah, the camera's incredible. I love the fact when I first got this that it is noticeably lighter than other models, the previous models. It's very, very light. It's made of the titanium, supposed to be a bit stronger, although we did have that jerry rig anything crack and the bend. But I've had no issues. I've had it in my pocket for 7 months and had no issues with it. I do wear a case on my phone 100% of the time, apart from like filming videos like this when I'm paranoid about dropping it. But yeah, it's the titanium is noticeably lighter, and that is, especially when you're rocking the iPhone 15 Pro Max, something that you do notice when you're using this on the daily. Design-wise as well, the curved edges are a lot easier to use when you're using it, especially naked. You've got no phone case on here. Really nice. It's not got the sharp edges of the previous models where it digs into your hand if you're using it on a regular basis without any case on. Really, I do like that sort of curved edge design to it. It's really nice. The one massive plus about this camera is the screen. The screen's just incredible. It's amazing for watching content. I tend to watch a lot of sport when the guys have got the television under control, watching a movie or whatever on a Sunday afternoon. I've got the football on my phone. I'm watching the football. It's just an incredible screen. Bright in bright conditions. It's just great for watching YouTube, great for watching content, great for studying your photos, editing, whatever you're doing on your phone. The screen is just the best screen that I've come across on a mobile device by far. It's brilliant, it really is. And then the battery life has been really impressive. If you're using this a lot, then you will probably need to top it out throughout the day, but it will definitely last a full day. It lasts me a full day, and I start at stupid o'clock in the morning for my full-time job, so I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it lasts all the way till like 8 o'clock on the night, and then I'll put it on charge throughout the night. So the battery life is definitely an improvement, and that's probably a side effect of the new 5nm chip that you've got inside of these devices, like the Apple Silicon. So USB-C as well obviously helps, charges it faster. It's easier to find a cable to charge it now. You don't have to carry a lightning cable around with you anymore. I love the USB-C. Yeah, the battery life has been really good, I must admit. That's my experience with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. It's definitely not worth the upgrade if you're coming from something like maybe even the 12 Pro or the 13 Pro or the 14 Pro. If you've got something like the 11 or the 10, then yeah, okay, it's a big jump up, but I'd definitely wait for the 16 to see what they change this year. It's going to be a big upgrade. It's the generation where they'll make some big changes, no doubt, and it'll be a really big, impressive release. So wait for the 16. It's definitely not worth the upgrade, especially if you're coming from the 14 and 13. Let me know about your experiences with the phone. What do you think? I'd be really interested to know if you've had any of the same issues as I've had, and if you've got any more pros, and I'll be glad to reply to any comments in the comment section down below. But that's it for this one. Stay tuned for more videos coming really soon, guys. We've got so much content, it's crazy. You might like this video here if you like this kind of content, and check out this one right over there as well. See you soon. Bye, guys.